Texas is serious about space exploration, so much so that they just gave $200 million for the construction of a space institute right next to NASA's Space Center in Houston. So, what will it have, and what does it mean for the future of space exploration? Let's find out. Texas is doubling down on its commitment to space exploration with the approval of a $350 million investment initiative by the Texas legislature. Out of this fund, $200 million has been earmarked for constructing a Texas A&M research facility adjacent to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. This action follows the Texas legislature's massive $350 million commitment. State Representative Greg Bonin, chair of the House Appropriations Committee, championed House Bill 3447 in June of 2023. The Texas Space Commission, the Space Exploration and Aeronautics Research Fund, and the Texas Aerospace Research and Space Economy Consortium were all funded by this bill. A large chunk of this project, $200 million, is designated for Texas A&M to build the facility at the Johnson Space Center. The major goal of this Houston resource is to cement Texas's leadership in space exploration. The facility's scientists and personnel will actively contribute to mission training, aeronautics research, advanced robotics, and groundbreaking work in lunar and Martian exploration. The Institute's vision aligns with expanding Texas's role in the emerging space economy. A three-party consortium will be established, leveraging Texas A&M's expertise to drive discoveries, technological advancements, health improvements, and workforce development. Partnerships with public and private entities nationwide will be crucial for success. John Sharp, Chancellor of the Texas A&M system, emphasizes Texas A&M's unique suitability for aeronautics and space projects. He believes that this is the best university for these kinds of space and aeronautic projects. The Texas A&M Space Institute is poised to ensure the state's continued leadership in the evolving space community. But what makes A&M University so special? Texas A&M University is a recognized space grant university. It boasts a distinguished faculty that includes 4 astronauts. The university's scientists and engineers have actively contributed to all NASA rover missions to Mars, with 2 researchers currently serving on NASA's Perseverance rover team. Beyond faculty, over 280 researchers from Texas A&M University, the Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station, and Texas A&M AgriLife Research are deeply engaged in space-related research. The institution is currently overseeing more than 300 space-related projects involving students, faculty, and researchers. All these projects require a lot of money to maintain. Luckily for them, Texas A&M has been a recipient of competitive funding awards exceeding $25 million annually for the last 5 years from 2023. These funds come from prestigious sources such as NASA, other government agencies, and grants from the commercial space industry. The university's commitment to interdisciplinary space-related research extends across more than 12 colleges and schools within Texas A&M University in College Station. Additionally, subject matter experts at affiliated institutions like Prairie View A&M University and Texas A&M University Corpus Christi contribute to the breadth of space-related research. So, what is this Space Research Center going to look like? Well, we can get an idea of its size by the fact that negotiations are in progress for Texas A&M officials to lease a 32-acre property on Saturn Lane, situated next to Rocket Park at the entrance to the Johnson Space Center. All of these 32 acres won't be just buildings, though. It'll have some outside space too. This upcoming facility will be owned and operated by Texas A&M. It will host the Texas Space Consortium, the Space Consortium, the Texas Space Aeronautics and Curation Exploratorium, and the A&M Space Institute. The planned facility is envisioned to encompass labs, shops, classrooms, meeting rooms, control rooms, and spaces dedicated to astromaterial curation for post-mission materials and sample research. Discussions involving private sector stakeholders have already commenced, with a workshop held in October 2023 at the A&M Hotel and Conference Center to explore the diverse uses and requirements for this cutting-edge space research facility. The Texas A&M Space Research Facility is gearing up to host the world's largest indoor extraterrestrial test beds, mimicking the surfaces of Mars and the Moon. While the plans are still in the conceptual stage, one test bed is expected to replicate the Martian surface, while the other will simulate the lunar surface. The Institute aims to provide various educational opportunities, internships, and co-op programs through potential collaborations with corporate partners. Rob Ambrose, a former NASA employee with over 20 years at the Johnson Space Center, is actively involved in the project too. Having joined Texas A&M University 2 years ago, Ambrose envisions the facility as a hub for lunar surface research, positioning Texas at the forefront of the upcoming moon era and eventually Mars exploration. As the assistant director of the A&M Space Institute, Ambrose sees the initiative as a way to prepare the next generations of Texans to lead in space exploration. The last moon landing was driven by geopolitical competition between two countries. Since then, American space exploration has largely been focused on lower Earth orbit. However, in the last 60 years, space has become intricately connected to almost every major industry. With the space industry projected to exceed $1 trillion by 2030, Texas-based companies like Blue Origin and Icon have secured contracts with NASA to put people on the moon by the decade's end. NASA's Artemis program has reignited the ambition of sending humans back to the moon too. In the last 2 decades, there has been a significant increase in the number of entities venturing into space. What was once a venture undertaken by only a few countries has now become a diverse field with numerous nations and industries entering the space market. Take SpaceX, for example. It was a company that started as a mere startup, but has now evolved into a major player in the industry. Ambrose believes that as we go on a journey back to the moon, the focus is not solely driven by geopolitical dominance, but involves a myriad of other motivations. This shift means that space exploration is no longer exclusively led by governments. Instead, various entities like governments and corporations are contributing to its progress. However, there's still a lot of geopolitical motivation behind it. That's why Ambrose believes that the new facility is a hot commodity. Anyone or any organization keen on lunar surface work will be eyeing it. Texas is positioning itself for the moon's comeback, at least for the next generation. And then, after that, it's on to Mars. Curry Gregg, A&M Space Institute Director, mentioned ongoing interviews in progress. Once assembled, the team will map out Texas's strategy to stay ahead in the space industry and perform research to back it. But waiting is not on the agenda. Simultaneously, external forums, including meetings with industry groups in Houston and government groups in Austin, are being conducted by A&M Space Institute to foster collaboration and coordination. While A&M's campus remains abuzz with ongoing initiatives, challenges lie in ensuring that various groups, departments, and buildings are aware of each other's activities. Ambrose is on a mission. He wants all these people to join forces and create synergy at A&M Space Institute. In his eye, the answer is simple. He believes that bringing them together in one room for discussions will lead to informed decisions and fruitful partnerships. Speaking of space endeavors, Texas is the new frontier. The landscape of space exploration in Texas is evolving, with both government-backed NASA and private sector ventures expanding their presence. Elon Musk's SpaceX, for instance, recently acquired an additional 73 acres in Bastrop County, reportedly from the Boring Company, marking yet another move in its growth strategy. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, based in West Texas, is gearing up to introduce space tourism flights alongside its current cargo-carrying operations. Additionally, a collaboration between Blue Origin and SpaceX is set to launch Amazon's Kuiper satellites in mid-2025. Closer to Houston, Collins Aerospace, a division of Raytheon Technologies, initiated a $30 million project at the Houston spaceport in June 2021. The facility, supported by up to $25.6 million in financing from Houston airports, will focus on developing and testing advanced spacesuits for astronauts. Collins' venture is expected to generate 300 new jobs, with the Houston spaceport's anchor tenants collectively creating 1,800 high-paying positions for mathematicians, mechanics, and engineers. According to the Texas Economic Development Corporation, the city hosts a robust aerospace, space, and aviation sector, housing 500 companies and institutions. In a 2021 report, professional services from PricewaterhouseCoopers awarded Texas the top national ranking for aerospace investment. The Texan A&D industry directly employs over 138,000 workers at more than 1,800 installations, encompassing 18 of the world's top 20 aerospace manufacturers. If you liked this content, check out another one of our videos on some of the world's most astonishing builds.